Hello friends, myself Subrata Mukherjee and you are watching my channel Dr. Subrata Mukherjee Distance Learning in Commerce. Today I am going to discuss another problem on cash flow statement. This is lecture number 6 and you can see the other lectures in the playlist section of the channel under cash flow and fund flow statement. I would like to request all the viewers to subscribe my channel and to communicate about this channel to the students of commerce so that they can be benefited through the lectures that I have uploaded on accounts, costing, financial management, and management accounting. You are given the following particulars relating to the year ended 31st March 2019. Total sales rupees 4,23,000. Cost of goods sold rupees 2,12,000. Expenses for the year rupees 35,000. The position of current assets and liabilities are as follows. Particulars. So balance on 31st March 2018 and on 31st March 2019. So debtors opening balance 1,24,000 and closing balance 89,000. Inventories 1,03,000 and 1,19,000. Prepaid expenses 21,000 and 15,000. Creditors 94,000 and 1,65,000. Asset and cash from operation for the year 2018-19. So here we are going to prepare the cash flow from operating activities or cash from operation. So before that, we need to prepare the ledgers and the workings. So the first balance given is regarding the total sales. So total sales has to be recorded in the debtor ledger. So first here I am preparing the working notes. So first is the debtor ledger I have to prepare. So debtors account. So the total sales will be recorded uh, on the debit side. So debtor account debit to sales. And we are going to record the opening and the closing balance of debtor. And the total sales is 4,23,000. So this is the first information which is given. Next is the cost of goods sold. So cost of goods sold will be recorded in the inventory ledger. So here I am preparing the inventories account. So the opening inventory and the closing inventory and the cost of goods sold on the credit side I am going to write. So cost of goods sold and the amount is 2,12,000. Next is the expenses for the year. So for the expenses will be recorded in the creditor accounts. So here I am preparing the creditors for purchase and expenses account. So the expenses for the year will be recorded on the credit side as by expenses and the amount is 35,000. Now I am going to write the opening and the closing balances of debtor. So debtor balance, the opening balance is given as 1,24,000. So the opening balance I am writing in the debtor ledger account as 1,24,000 and the closing balance of debtor is given as 89,000. So on the credit side I have to write as by balance CD 89,000 and the balancing figure is the amount of cash received from debtor and which is 4,58,000. So this is the collection from debtors. So total of debit and credit side in debtor ledger is 5,47,000. Now come to the inventory ledger. So opening balance of inventory I have to record here as to opening stock or to balance CD, which is 1,03,000 and the closing stock is 1,19,000. So the balancing figure denotes the amount of credit purchase. So which is 2,28,000. So this is basically the balancing figure. 3,31,000 is the total of debit and credit side. You can also calculate by the following equation as opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock is equal to cost of goods sold. So you know the amount of opening stock 1,03,000 at purchase minus closing stock of 1,19,000 is equal to cost of goods sold 2,12,000, or the amount of purchase is equal to 2,28,000. Now, regarding the prepaid expenses, the opening and the closing balance. So this is basically a debit balance because it's a prepaid expense. So in the creditors for purchase and expense account, I am writing here to balance BD, and this is the amount of prepaid expenses. And the opening balance is 21,000. And the closing balance is 15,000. So the amount of prepaid expense closing balance I have written here. And the purchase amount that I have calculated from the inventories ledger will be posted in the creditor for purchase and expenses on the credit side as by purchase account as 2,28,000. Now I am going to record the opening and the closing balance of creditors. So the opening balance of creditor will be recorded here on the credit side as to by balance BD, and the amount is 94,000. And the closing balance of creditor, I'm going to write it here as to balance CD is 1,65,000. So the balancing figure from creditors for purchase and expense denotes the amount paid for purchase and expense. So this amount, the balancing figure, I have written here, and the figure is 1,86,000, and the amount denotes the amount paid for purchase and for expenses. So basically this is the amount that has been paid to the creditor for purchase and expenses together. And the sum total of debit and credit side is 3,72,000. So from debtor account, I have calculated the amount of cash collected from debtor, and from creditors and for purchase and expense ledger, I have calculated the amount that has been paid to creditor for the amount of purchase and for expense. So here I am going to prepare the cash flow from operation. So I am writing here as cash flow from operation. So cash collect or collection from debtor is the first item. Collection from debtors, which is 4,58,000 less payment made to creditors for purchase and expenses, and the amount that we have calculated as 1,86,000. Therefore, cash from operating activity or cash from operation is 2,72,000. Hope students have recorded the question with solution in your notebook. And if you find any difficulty in understanding, feel free to communicate with me through email and the WhatsApp number given in the description box. Thank you. Thanks for watching the lecture.